right, guys. Michael Hellickson here. If you are thinking about what dialer software you want to be able to use for real estate, this is the call to listen to. Listen, there's lots of dialers out there, and there's some very distinct differences between them. So understanding which dialer is the best and why, honestly, is a very complex thing, but we're going to bring it down to a very simple level for you today. We're going to make it really, really easy for you to understand. And I'm going to share with you the dialer software that I use. We hear about all kinds of different products out there, and sometimes when you hear about a product, it's actually a white label of the product I'm going to share with you today. And I say that because sometimes people like a different UI a little bit better or whatever, but the actual engine behind it is the same software that I'm using today. And so here with me today is Gary Prado from Prospect Boss. And let me tell you, as you guys know, I've got about, anywhere from 35 to 75 people calling every day. And guess what we use? We use Prospect Boss. Why? Because after having analyzed all the different products out there, having used a lot of them, we landed on Prospect Boss, and frankly, it was for us the easiest to use. It integrated with the softwares that we needed to integrate with, and it provided us with the best results. And let me tell you what those results are. So it's not just can it dial on multiple lines. Lots of products can dial on multiple lines. That is this much of the equation. Okay, I mean that's just like meeting it's meeting the baseline expectation. But what's more important than just being able to dial on multiple lines is, can it help us avoid things like being marked as spam? Can it help us avoid things like being ghosted, stir shaken, all this kind of stuff? And I'm going to have Gary explain what these things are. But let me explain the first two. Let me explain being marked as spam and ghosting just really quick. Number one, being marked as spam is very simple to understand. It means when you're calling on a multiple line dialer, you're calling a whole bunch of people, all of a sudden the carriers are going to think, hey, my gosh, this person is spamming people. And so we're going to show up for them when they call somebody. We're going to make that person's caller ID identify this person as spam, and that's bad. That really decreases your contact rates, which means that you have to work more hours to get the same dollars coming in. Now, the opposite is also true. When you use Prospect Boss, it helps us solve that, and Gary's going to explain how in just a second. The other thing, and this is the one that most people don't know about, and this is the one that I think is a very big deal, and that's ghosting. And essentially what ghosting means is you call somebody, and on your end of the phone, you hear it ring, but on their end, it's not ringing. And this is kind of the little secret squirrel little way that the carriers are saying, hey, we're going to really stick it to these solicitors, and we're going to make it so they think that they're getting through, but they're not going to get through. And that's called ghosting, and that's really bad. And again, Prospect Boss solves for that. So Gary, first of all, thank you for taking the time to be with me today. Explain to everybody what these things are and how do you guys solve this?
Yeah, Michael, thanks. So there's two things that are in the market today that all agents need to be aware of. First of all, do never, ever use your cell phone to make phone calls to leads whatsoever. Don't do it. I had an agent call me. We have a property for sale, several properties. Agent called me. His number showed up as spam likely. I just happened to answer. I don't know why. And I told him his number showed up as spam likely. Believe it or not, he was trying to get a listing on a house we had in Atlanta, and I ended up selling him an account of Prospect Boss. So
that's funny.
Because his number was showing up as spam and he wanted to get around that. So to answer your question, so what Prospect Boss does really well is, and then there's lots of multi-line dialers. We'll talk about that. It's a numbers game. It always has been. But what Prospect Boss does very well is spam likely fixes. So what we do is we have some algorithms and technology in place where if your number gets marked as spam, we then go ahead and replace that number automatically. Now, nobody can control spam likely. Spam likely is based off of third-party apps like Truecaller, Apple, where they get a phone call and they hit spam. This is a spam number. Any person can do that. It's out of your control. But what we do is if we do tests on our numbers, we rotate numbers, and I'll get into that in just a second. But what happens is that we replace those numbers for free as they come up on spam likely. So there's no cost for this. So you're always running good numbers that aren't showing up as spam likely. That's one part of the puzzle. The next part is stir shaken. You can Google that term now. Stir shaken was created by the FTC back around 2020 to stop scam phone calls going to consumers based on certain algorithms. Short-term duration phone calls, a number of phone calls per hour, drop phone calls per hour, certain algorithms. And so if you're running a dialer calling, and you hit those algorithms, Michael just nailed it. Whenever that call goes through, it rings and rings and rings, but on the other end, it never picks up. And that's what Michael talked about as far as being ghosted. Now, here's our solution to that, Michael. And you guys know this because you run this all day long, every day. You know this. And so what we do is we rotate numbers we suggest 5 numbers rotation. So it'll dial 20 numbers from one number and then 20 numbers from another number and 20 numbers from another number instead of just using one number. There are a lot of dialers out there. You can call in Lofty. You can call in Follow Up Boss. It's a click to call. So it's a really slow option. But there's a lot of dialer companies out there that are selling you their software knowing it's going to be blocked. But what we do when we rotate those numbers, it keeps you below that algorithm and below those thresholds because you're rotating them every 20 phone calls. And that means that you're not going to have stir shake and it's not going to be a problem for you. Your numbers are going to go through and they have a chance of being picked up by a lead.
It's interesting you mentioned that. You were talking about Follow Up Boss and Lofty and some of these other platforms. Austin, my son, a lot of people who are watching probably know Austin. He's the number 1 listing agent in the country right now, and also has one of the biggest teams in the country now. He's crushing it on this team growth as well. But what's interesting about Austin's team is they switched recently. I mean, very recently from Lofty to Follow Up Boss. As soon as they switched, they saw an increase in about 30% in their contact rate just by changing phone numbers, right? Because essentially what happened is they changed phone numbers, right? Here's the problem though with most of these platforms, changing phone numbers can be very difficult, right? But changing phone numbers only solves part of it and only for a period of time. You still have to solve the ghosting issue. You still have to solve stir shaken. And these are things that are going to continue to be ongoing problems. These are not going to go away. These are things you're going to constantly have to be solving for. Prospect Boss does that. And what's nice is it works with Follow Up Boss. And so
yes.
That's what we're going to get Austin doing. That's actually next step for Austin is we got to get him using Prospect Boss through Follow Up Boss. Yeah.
So Michael, on that, I know Austin just asked for some accounts. So he's I think he's using it now where his team is or whatever, but that's fine. Yep. But with Follow Up Boss is a great solution. But the problem with Follow Up Boss I'm talking about for outgoing calls for lead gen, it is a numbers game. And listen, we have an ISA company, we have a virtual assistant company. We know the numbers that they should be doing on a daily and weekly basis. Our agents using Prospect Boss are dialing about 300 dials in an 8-hour shift, 325 right around there. That's what they're dialing. They're talking to about 50 people per day. So they're talking to 50 people per day. If you're using Follow Up Boss on a click to call system, you're never going to have any success because you can't do the numbers. You have to do the numbers to be successful. And so it's just hard.
Yeah, this is a contact sport, right? The more contacts you make, the more you're going to make, the more money you're going to make. I mean, at the end of the day, you just have to hit those numbers. Period. End of story. You got to get your numbers up. I'm going to make more money if I talk to 1,000 people than if I talk to 100 people. I mean, come on, it makes sense, right? And so the idea is, how can I talk to more people per hour? Guys, the biggest problem, let's back up. The biggest problem for most real estate agents is they won't pick up the phone at all. But the next big problem that real estate agents have is that even if they do pick up the phone, they're very inefficient with the way that they dial. And there's lots of, I remember back in the day, I used to have 2 headsets on. I'd dial over here, I'd dial over here. Whoever picked up the phone first, I'd hang up over here, I'd talk to this guy. Then I'd call this guy back. Oh, I'm sorry, we must have got disconnected. It was a circus. I mean, for lack of a better term, it was a lot of work. And maintaining not just the software, but the hardware, everything. It was a nightmare. It was not easy. Now you've simplified all of that. And literally,
Yeah.
I can just hit a button, it's calling people. And as soon as it's got somebody on the phone, hey, Michael, you're live with this person. Boom, done. And it automatically syncs up with Follow Up Boss, which means that all of that information is going into Follow Up Boss. It's telling me who I've called, who I've talked to. It records the notes, all that stuff. It's all in there. It's done. And guys, this is next level. This is what it's going to take. And I'll tell you, real estate's getting more and more competitive every day with AI, with teams getting more efficient, with dialer software is getting better. Guys, everything about this industry is getting more competitive. You've got to be on the cutting edge. And that's where we have found Prospect Boss to be really an unfair advantage because I can call 3 times as many people as most people can every day. And frankly, it not only does it make me 3x more effective, but it's a lot better than sitting there waiting for somebody to answer the freaking phone. I mean, that's just agonizing. Nobody enjoys that. So, and you save my cell phone number from getting spammed out. And that's a real problem. When you were talking about, not using your cell phone to prospect, guys, if you use your cell phone to prospect, you are going to get spammed out and ghosted eventually. And what's going to happen is you're going to go to call your clients, and your clients, you're going to show up for spam for them. You're going to get ghosted when you try and call your actual clients. That's not good. Right. And so we want to protect that cell phone at all costs. All right. So Gary, you have a special offer for everybody today. So tell me what that is.
Yeah. So it's our standing offer with Club Wealth. And by the way, you're the only company we have this with, Michael, just to let you know. That's how much we love you. So
By the way, I feel the same about you guys. I appreciate you doing it because I'll tell you, this really takes the risk out of it for the agent. So
yeah. Yeah. And matter of fact, we had somebody sign up yesterday from Club Wealth.
yep.
Dominic, we had an issue with the link and we had to just fix it. But anyway, somebody signed up yesterday with Club Wealth. So here's the deal. You get our most popular package for real estate agents.
Mm-hmm.
You get a 14-day free trial, no risk or obligation. But wait, there's more. No, I'm just kidding. But so the three, you get I feel like a pitch man, but you get our most popular package, which is our 3-line CRM dialer. That includes AI. So AI is going to call. AI is going to listen in, transcribe. It's also going to give you closing tips. So that includes our AI coach package. So our 3-line dialer with FSBOs and expireds. So FSBOs and expireds in your area, 50-mile radius around your zip code, included in that. With our AI package, our stir shaken package, well, we call it our stir shaken spam likely package, but it's one package. All of that for 14 days for free. So it comes in there. So Michael, what do you have to lose?
There's nothing. You have zero risk. There's nothing to lose. And seriously, guys, if you'll just actually go do it and use it, first of all, even if you weren't using the AI coach and all that, it's amazing software. It's going to do everything you need. It's going to increase your call rate. It's going to increase your contact rate. It's going to increase your productivity rate. That being said, now you use the AI on top of that, game over, man. Like it's seriously, it's going to transcribe the call. It's going to tell you what your next steps are. It's going to tell you how to better close them. It's going to tell you what your next step is in making sure that you get this person to sign up with you to do business with you. The AI is actually really, really good. And so guys, you need to get on this. You need to give it a shot. And Gary, how would they take advantage of this? Where do they go? They go to, is it just clubwealth.com/prospect boss?
Yeah, I think it's as simple. I think you have a partners page on your website? Yep. It's listed under your partners. Just look for Prospect Boss, clubwealth.com/Prospect Boss, something like that. But it's there. It's while Michael gets looks for the link, but it's 14
I just
days
typed it into Facebook just now. I'm putting it in our Facebook feed so people there have it. But yeah, it's clubwealth.com/prospect boss. And it's super simple, guys. Go there, get signed up. And if you have any challenges whatsoever signing up, DM me. I will take care of you. I will tag Gary in the post here. You can hang on. Let me just tag Gary here. Oh my gosh. Come on. It's not letting me tag you, Gary. Hold on one second. At Prado. And there's Gary. All right, good. I just tagged Gary in the post as well. So if anybody wants, you can reach directly out to Gary. Listen, it's nice if you can let him know you're with Club Wealth so he knows that we're actually sending people his way. But at the end of the day, I just want you guys to get it. I just want you to use it. I want it to work for you. And I want you to have success with it. So just go get it and do the 14-day free trial. And you are going to be really glad you did. Gary, anything else to add before we wrap up today?
I think that's it. Also, we have tons of scripts. I know Michael's team has a bunch of scripts. If you need coaching on that, we have the whole blueprint from start to finish. We can help you start getting listing appointments at day one. So I know Michael's team has a bunch of scripts, so we can help you. There's nothing holding you back except just taking that step and doing it.
Yeah, Gary, I gotta say, your scripts are fine, man. They're more than adequate. They're like, if people just used your scripts and did use Prospect Boss, whether it's FSBOs, expireds, cold calls, whatever they're calling, they're gonna have success. Like, it's just, guys, you just need to get on the phone, use his system. It will at least 3x your productivity, probably more. Honestly, it's actually, if I had to put a guess on it, we're probably closer to 5x. And I'll tell you the number one reason why. Because 3x is gonna be because you're gonna be calling on 3 lines instead of 1. That's an immediate 3x. But you're gonna get another 2x easily out of it because you're not going to have as much downtime. Normally when people dial, then they dilly-dally around and then they dial the next call, then they dilly-dally dial the next call. You could easily accomplish 10x if you're just on that dialer and you're letting that thing run for 1, 2, 3, and even 4 hours. And Ben, I'm telling you, if you guys do that, game over. Start cashing the checks. Gary, I appreciate you being on with me. I really appreciate you offering the special deal for Club Wealth. And by the way, you guys don't have to be coaching with us to get that deal. Okay, it's just he gives that through Club Wealth. Why? And by the way, I don't get paid when you sign up. I don't need to get paid. I don't care about that. I just want you guys to sign up. I want you to use it. And I'm doing this because I believe in the product, and I believe it'll make a difference for you. And I also believe in Gary. I know that Gary stands behind his product. I've seen him take care of people at times when he didn't need to, and I've seen the level of service he provides, guys. He's the real deal. Get signed up. Gary, thanks again. And again, guys, clubwealth.com/prospect boss. Hope you're having a great day. We'll see y'all. Thanks, Gary. Club Wealth is the only coaching company on the planet that will literally guarantee that you will double your income or make at least an extra $100,000 your first year coaching with us, or we will give you 100% of your investment back. Click the link below, sign up for the appropriate tier level, and let's get you a strategy session today. And I promise you, I 100% guarantee you, promise you that you will walk away with a heart full of gratitude for the time that we took for you because you got so much value out of that call. Schedule your strategy session today. I promise you'll be glad you did.